Welcome back to Houston Life. As we prepare for the busy holiday season, one thing we cannot forget is to make sure that our pets stay safe and calm during all the family chaos.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, right, during the holidays. And if you think your dog may do anything that might put them in danger or frustrate you, it is time to prepare now. Lauren Kelly is with the Puppy Pros that believe in dog training with some helpful tips to keep your pets safe this holiday season. Hi, Lauren. Some cuties there.
Hey, Derek and Tessa. You know, every time I have a question about my two dogs, I feel like I bombard you. Stephanie, am I doing this right? Can you help me with this?
I love it.
And this is so perfect because the holidays can get really crazy, whether you're hosting guests at your house or even if you're leaving to go to another person's house. Where your dogs stay is also quite important. But the first thing we want to get out is you know your pets. So you should know exactly where they belong during this season.
Such a big one. I think mostly it's about, you know, people know what kind of things their dogs may already do. Like if we've got a young dog, like the young Golden Retriever, I would expect my dog to jump on a guest.
Yes.
Because that's just where they are in their training, right? And in their life. And so I would expect them to do that. So I'm going to expect it, anticipate it, and then prevent it.
Okay.
As opposed to what people do is just like kind of, I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it happens.
And then you have to apologize. I'm so
and
sorry.
they're embarrassed and we're frustrated, and then the dog gets punished, right? Which makes me upset because I'm like, well, we set them up for failure, right? The other thing is some dogs will bark like crazy at the doorknob or the doorbell, right? Or the guests coming in, and we know our dogs are going to do that, right? So don't be embarrassed or surprised when they do that, because then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and then they're punishing the dog, right? And so that's what makes me a little bit crazy is that why are we punishing the dog for something we know is going to happen, right? And we don't expect like some of the training that we've been doing to like suddenly be magically working and perfect, and you haven't practiced it before and all that. So my thing is know your dog, know what they're going to do when you have guests over, and expect that, because if I can anticipate it, I can prevent it, right? And then I can set them up for success, and I don't have to go through that. What my most unfavorite thing is dogs getting punished for things that we know that they're going to do, or that we haven't bothered to work on or teach them anything different. So there's so many things that we can do, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. So Moose is over there.
Hey, Moosey, baby.
We call that a Zen den. I love creating Zen dens for dogs for so many reasons.
You've told us about this before, and I love this.
Zen dens are awesome because, again, I'm setting him up for success because, look, just because he is put over there, it doesn't mean I'm isolating him from the whole world, you know? I think that some people are like, I don't want my dog to have to be separated from everybody.
Or locked up in behind the cage.
Right.
This is not that.
So we're separated a little bit, but it doesn't mean we're isolated, like, completely from everybody, right? So, but also it's just safe for Moose, right? He's still a young dude, and so we're just keeping him safe. You know, we got kids coming over and guests, and people leave the door open.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
There's
don't
the
get me
door.
started on the door. The dog's running out.
And then boom, right? Because we're busy like hosting our guests or whatever it may be. And so look at this nice little area that we can make sure that he's okay. He's not running out. He's not going to jump on people. He's not going to do all that. And the Zen den,
looks
he's
quite
like,
happy to
look
me.
at me. I love my place. I love it. He's like, what a ham. Is that a ham? I mean, look at the smile for the camera.
He's got his cozy bed that he smells he's comfortable
That's
in.
right. That's right. And so a lot of times what we'll do is we will condition them, meaning I don't just put that up on the day that it's happening.
Of course.
Right? And then put them in there because then they're going to be like, what's this? I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm not used to it. So I condition them to get used to it first. So I put it up in plenty of time. Do it now. Do it now. So you have that there, and then now I will start feeding the meals in there. Every time I give them a chew or something delicious, I always do it in there.
So they want to go in there.
That's right.
They know if they go in there, something good is
awesome.
going to happen.
It's called classical conditioning. So what we're doing is we're conditioning that pen to be like, this is where all the awesome stuff comes from. So you don't have to be worried about it. We practice it, right? We practice so that it's not like, oh my God, suddenly I put in this thing and now I don't like it and now I'm freaking out and all that stuff. So we have all that, and then we get them ready because this is a beautiful thing. And I think that that is the big deal, is that people are like, I want them to be involved. Well, they will be. Once everybody's in, the door is closed. Everybody is sitting. Everybody has whatever they need, and then we let Moose out.
Of course.
And we also teach people, hey, guess what? Moose cannot have chocolate.
Oh, please.
You know, even if he says, I want it, he can't have it, right? That kind of stuff, right? We tell our guests, here's what he can have and here's what he can't.
You have to do, I don't mean to cut you off. No. You have to do that because some people don't know that you can't give your dogs grapes that they can't digest.
Right.
And those foods that are toxic to dogs, not a lot of people know, but don't go through them just yet. I think this is very important, especially ahead of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Lots of food on the table, lots of furry friends right at your hand level to come and get some.
Right.
I do want to go through that coming up here in just a bit. We're going to toss it back to you guys in studio for now, but also these three, Cash, Sunny, and Marty, how good have they been behaving with their little chew sticks?
Amazing.
Little angels.
My God.
Amazing.
If only I could get mine to be this good.
It's very easy. All you got to do. See, and people don't realize it's this easy.
Rough job. Rough job.
Well, we need our own Zen Zone here. So we're going to check back in with Lauren and Stephanie later in the show. Such good pups still to come.
Well, with the holidays just around the corner, literally maybe 2 weeks away until Thanksgiving, Stephanie Bennett, we always love coming here to Believe in Dog Training because you really have some very simple ways of making sure dogs, your pets, stay safe for the holidays and that they're calm and they're prepared for all the bustle and craziness that is to come. And the one thing that I really want to start with is the foods that dogs can and cannot have, because with Thanksgiving coming up, the table is full of food. Goodness, I hope that the dogs don't jump up and get it, as you're cooking. But what are some of the foods that we cannot give them, they have to stay away from?
So the big ones, grapes, raisins,
chocolate.
Yeah. And of course, which is everywhere on the holidays.
Right.
And then anything that has like the artificial sweetener in it.
Okay.
Right, that is toxic for dogs.
Okay.
And then of course we don't want anything with it heavily spiced. Of course, bones, turkey bones, all of that kind of thing. Choking hazards.
Yeah.
All of that. So, but the other part of it is that certainly, I always say what's good for us is good for you.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, what's good for us is good for them. And so I can add fresh fruits and vegetables to their diet. I can give them lean proteins and things like that.
Okay.
But we, unfortunately, we do hear a lot of dogs get like pancreatitis and stuff because they eat fatty stuff.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So again, lean proteins and stuff, but just not giving them a bunch of fatty, all kinds, the stuff that's all around the Thanksgiving table.
Of course.
And then of course, like little ones walking around or people leaving their plates everywhere, things like that. So
what
we have to
about
be very careful.
plants, Stephanie?
Plants.
Poinsettias? Yeah.
Yes, those are very toxic, so you have to be very careful.
Did not know that.
Mistletoe, poinsettias, Easter lilies, things like that. So you just got to be very careful. Doesn't mean you can't have them. You just have to be very careful to make sure, especially if you've got a puppy, right, that they're not going to eat it, or it's got to be somewhere managed so that the dogs aren't going to get them.
Yeah. Another big one is holiday decor. Everybody is starting to set up their Christmas trees, their Hanukkah decorations. How do we keep our pets from literally just going and curling up under the tree and acting like a gift themselves and chewing on branches?
Always go to the next. What are you? You're putting a tree inside the house. I mean, why wouldn't I lift my leg on it?
Right.
Or try to get a branch or whatever. And now you put these little things on it that look like toys to me.
Right.
And so we just have to. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that we can put a little barrier. You know. And so we have some examples of this kind of a barrier is a great thing to use. And then what we do is we decorate it.
Yes,
we decorate it.
Idea.
And it doesn't have to be up always forever, right? We just put it up for everyday use. Oh my goodness, what happened? Everyday use, so that we protect the tree, and then when you're there supervising, you can take it down.
Right. And of course, lights as well, right? You don't want any type
chew on the lights, forget it, right? And so again, I think a lot of people just go, I just want it to be okay. I don't want to have to use something like that. I'm like, why? Don't set your dog up for failure like that, or cat for that matter.
Yes.
Right? So do something like this, and then when it's supervised, you can take it down. It doesn't mean that it's ugly or that it's going to have to be forever. But right now, know your dog, know your cat, know that they're probably going to be attracted to that stuff, and certainly, and then understand why. I mean, you're bringing a tree in the house, for heaven's sake.
Two more things I want to get to really quickly. Update your emergency contact, your vet, maybe the microchip. Just make sure all of that's ready to go.
Just in case, right? In case somebody leaves the door open and out they go, or whatever, right? Just make sure. It's such a good thing to have that, especially like hurricane season, all of that stuff. Make sure it's all up to date, just in case.
Yes. Okay, where can our viewers go to get more information? I'm sorry, you cannot take home any of the dogs that we have here today. They do belong to other people. But if people want more information on your tips, Stephanie, where can they go?
Yes. Oh, she says, don't even take it.
Don't do it.
Marty, don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you.
It's like real life children.
Yes, indeed. On our website, I have blueprints, behavior blueprints. And I mean, there's so much information there. Tons and tons of free information that for all kinds of stuff, including this.
And your fall festival.
Yes, fall festival is this weekend. If you have done anything with us in the past, any class, any lesson, any anything, you are invited, please. And it's at the Willis Ranch, and it is giant, and it is going to be a blast. And hopefully Lauren's going to bring her dogs there.
Oh yeah, Minnie and Buddy are already signed up.
Yay!
They are customers via me asking you 4,000 questions every time I see
We
you.
have a bounce house this year. A bounce house for the dogs.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be the best thing
ever. Oh my God. I'm going to put a link up, Stephanie.
Yes.
HoustonLife.tv. Derek and Tessa, some great tips here from Believe in Dog Training, from always the Puppy Pros. You and Joanna, thank you so much for getting us ready for the holidays. And these babies, I think they're ready.
Thanks, everybody.
Derek and Tessa, back to you guys in
Those
studio.
babies are ready for the bounce house.
I
Lauren Kelly.
have a request for video from the dog bounce house. I would like to see what that looks
All the
like.
video. Send it
Please,
our way.
Please.
Okay, Lauren. Thanks so much. It's good to see you. When we come back.